Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nubeva's channel. We're sitting here again with Randy, and we got two really exciting press releases to jump into. But first off, Randy, how are you doing out there? Looks like you're really enjoying yourself outside.
Doing great. This 4th of July weekend, the weather is fantastic here in California. So glad
Perfect.
to be outdoors too.
Perfect. Yeah, glad to see it. So let's dive in then. You guys have two news releases. First off, you guys validating TLS decryption capabilities for Microsoft Windows Server 22 and also for Windows 11. So awesome. That's two amazing things. So first off, can you explain what Windows Server 22 is and why it's relevant for Nubeva?
Sure. So contextually, if you look at what we do, we extract TLS keys for customers that want to be able to decrypt that traffic, obviously. And so when we engage with customers and prospects, the first question they ask, obviously, is, does your technology work? Right? They see the patents, they see this, they see the press releases, and then subsequently they'll ask, is this going to work in the future? Right? Is this really just a one-off thing that you got a one-trick pony that just works for now and doesn't work in the future? And so we always want to convince them, hey, it isn't just the product or solution that you're buying into an entire architecture with a technology, IP, and patents behind it. And so we always tell them what's coming from Microsoft, from Linux, etc. It will continue working. And so it's really exciting when we get the preview versions of Windows Server 2022. I got to get that right because they renamed that from 2021. And also Windows 11. The first thing we want to know as technologists is, does our stuff continue working? We tell everybody it's going to work. We think it's going to work. We hear all the new things coming out from Microsoft and Windows. Microsoft Windows is still the dominant operating system across the world right now, whether it's client on the server side, in the cloud side now with Azure. And so answering your questions, when it comes to Windows Server 2022, that is the dominant server in the enterprise today, whether you're running in the cloud or on premise. That is what people in general use across the board. We obviously also support Linux, but that wouldn't be part of this conversation. So,
Fair, yeah.
So Windows Server 2022 is the next big server release for Microsoft. Obviously, with the date implying that it's going to be shipped before or close to 2022. And so they've made a lot of enhancements. The most obvious one is the fact that now everything defaults to TLS 1.3. And so everything running in S-channel, your Word documents, Microsoft Edge, anything running in the enterprise that does TLS encryption will be running in TLS 1.3. So the first question that our customers then ask, as soon as that preview goes out, they start asking, hey, does your stuff work? Right? They don't even wait till the product is actually released. The minute they see a preview version, it goes, is this going to continue working? Because a lot of our customers essentially bet on us, right? The champions of our product within a large organization. To a certain extent, they're betting their career on a new innovation from a startup, and they want to know, hey, is this going to work, right? I want to be able to tell my bosses, my peers, and everybody else, this is a good bet. And so it's something that is imperative for us to immediately understand, does this work? And the fact that it did work, and it worked so quickly with very little modification from the end, it really says a lot. This is something that we're very, very excited. A lot of our customers a lot of times ask, every single new operating system typically has new security attributes to it. They build in new things to make it better, easier to use, more secure, right? Yeah. And so they're always wondering, will those changes affect our ability to extract the keys? And so we go out and we always describe our technology as something that is aligning with our customers' vendors. In other words, we're aligning with the industry on where cybersecurity is going, where the enterprise operating systems are heading. And so the first proof on proving to people we're aligned with the future is making sure it works with the preview version. So as soon as the preview version came out, Server 2022, this is when we were able to validate that and release that. And surely within that, I want to say 2 weeks, I think that this got released a little earlier than Microsoft wanted to. I believe somebody leaked it. And so they went out and basically they said, okay, Windows 11 is preview coming out. And we immediately went out and validated that. That's probably, I'd say, within 2 week time frame. And so they both required a small change in our product, but at the same time, the technology, the IP, the patents, the meat behind it all continues working. And so that is really a satisfying result on as a technologist, we want to know that what we built has longevity, but at the same time, when we sell to a customer, we want them to know we have their backs.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, so it sounds like the preemptive strike was absolutely necessary. It's something that you guys had to do. There's no doubt in your guys' mind. So then what actually went into validating that your guys' software worked with Windows Server 2022 and Windows 11?
Yeah, so the first thing is actually getting your hands on it. It's
Yeah,
because it's a preview version, you have to be a Microsoft insider, which is not difficult to do. As a Microsoft developer, you submit to being part of this developer program, and you're a Microsoft insider, and you get preview versions of products as they come out. Okay, and so once it comes out, obviously it's got its issues because it's a preview version. So we've got to assign engineers to not only install it, run our product, and make sure we're extracting keys across the board. But really what we ultimately want to do is make sure our automation system continues working. It's really not a very satisfying job to just be sitting there clicking. Okay, I'll install this one program, the next version, and the next version, and confirm it works. What we want to do is make sure that our entire automation system, that when it comes to Windows, everything is running on Microsoft Azure, and we want our entire automation system running on Azure, validate all the different versions of applications, browsers, etc., that they continue working inside Server 2022, and also running also inside Windows 11.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah. And from there, you've kind of answered my last question, which is how does this set you guys up for success with the launch? But you pretty much explained it. You got everybody on board. They understand your guys' software is going to work going forward. And that seems like a very integral part to your guys' business model.
Absolutely.
Confidence in your guys' customers.
Right. And to spell out the obvious, we want the customers to understand as soon as a product like Windows Server 2022 or Windows 11 GAs, the day it becomes generally available, our product will already be ready and running and extracting keys from it. In other words, there isn't okay, they released, then you wait a few weeks before we release. There's no such thing. The day that comes out, the product that does a self-upgrade within the customer's environment, it will self-upgrade, and by the day it comes out, it's fully working. And this is one of the promises that we give our customers across the board. It isn't just a Microsoft operating system. It involves, whether it's in the Windows world, Microsoft world, or Linux world, everything that we actually support, we make sure that we are subscribing to preview versions if the vendor of that application libraries provides that. And we make sure that when we release, it releases in conjunction with their GA release. So there's no wait time. There's no, okay, should I make sure all my vendors are ready for Server 2022 before I upgrade? There's obviously a big reason why Microsoft would be putting out a new operating system, and it's because there's a lot of features and security enhancements associated with that. And so I think the entire industry wants to move to the latest and greatest, and we want to make sure we're not a reason why they can't.
Perfect. Well, Randy, good job on staying on top of the game completely. And I think you've answered anyone's questions. But if anybody has any more questions, we'll very happily dive into them for you. And stay tuned. We'll get some more announcements to you as soon as we can. Randy, you enjoy your time out there.
Thank you. You too.